YouTube, it's your girl Shay Vibes coming into you with an extremely exciting video. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I was able to plan, prepare, and have a successful move from Houston, Texas to Atlanta, Georgia with a toddler. So if you're interested, please stay tuned.
Women, you beautiful. From sunrise to moonlight, oh, you oh so durable. Women, you beautiful. And just the fact you give life makes it so undisputable. Women, you beautiful. Women, you beautiful. Women, you beautiful. Women, you beautiful. No matter color, race, creed, size, shape, speed, you're like a natural high without smoking that weed. The reason Doc smacked me on the ass and said, "Brave, you're the gateway to life, and it's a beautiful thing. Just cut the umbilical and let me loose." Women, you beautiful regardless. There's no excuse unless the inner you thinks that means you ugly too. But for you,
it's your girl Shay Vibes coming into you with an extremely exciting video. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I was able to plan, prepare, and have a successful move from Houston, Texas to Atlanta, Georgia with a toddler. So if you're interested, please stay tuned. I have my little handy dandy notebook here. So if you see me looking down, I'm just making sure that I cover my notes. If there's anything that I think that would be helpful for someone that I did for my particular move, I will actually include that information below in the description box. If I think about something that I don't share in the video, I'll just include it below in the description box. But there are several steps that I took. I actually knew about 5 months prior to my move that I would have to relocate. So at that point, when I found out that I would need to be relocating, I immediately began to plan and prepare. And then having a toddler put things a little bit more in perspective to where I had to check in the schools, but we'll talk about that as we go through the list. One thing is going to be the why. Why are you relocating? It has to come into spirit, or something has to be initiated for you to even think about relocating. Are you relocating for school? Are you relocating for with a job? Are you relocating because maybe your field has a lot of positions in a particular state? Are you relocating to be closer to family? Are you relocating to live with family? There has to be some sort of why or something that's put into spirit to even give you the increment of wanting to relocate. Or why are you relocating? Are you relocating to get away from family? Whatever it is, the why is going to be moving with a spouse. Are you moving to look for a spouse? Why are you relocating to this particular city is actually going to be basically like the skin or the foundation of everything else that you were prepared for in the near future, or how your move will transition. If you're moving with a job or if you're moving with school. And we'll talk more about that in detail once we get to the research part. Research. Me personally, I use a lot of YouTube. I did a lot of research on YouTube. So I'm hoping that somebody that's relocating, whether it's if they'll be relocating from Houston, Texas to Atlanta or whatever city, some of the tips or things that I did or things that I researched will help them in their move. Because moving, especially when you're moving across state, it can be extremely stressful, a lot of time, a lot of preparation, and especially when you have a young child that you're moving with. A lot of organization goes into a big move. But I watched a lot of YouTube videos. I watched a lot of videos based on people who relocated, people who had lived here for a while, what their experiences are. Now, everybody's experience is going to be different. A lot of the videos I watched I found extremely interesting, to say the least. But a lot of people's journeys will be different based on your particular choices and just how you live your life. So you can watch the videos and take bits and parts that you can use or you can find helpful to incorporate into your total move. A realtor, if you can find yourself a good realtor, especially if you're not in that city, you want to let them know what your criteria are, whether it's price points you're looking for, if you're purchasing a home or wanting to lease a home or rent a home, how many bedrooms you're looking for, if you have a young child, the child care there or house of schools in that particular area. You definitely want to find a good realtor if you can. If you know somebody if you can't find a realtor, if you know someone in that city that you can link up with that can tell you about the housing. I know I had reached out to a few friends, either people that I knew that were currently living here in Georgia or people who had lived here and relocating that can give me on some insight of which areas we should actually move to, what would be good for schools, what had nice housing. I knew I wanted to live in a really nice residential quiet area. Not living in the city, living somewhere else. You won't know the neighborhoods, and that's why the next point is extremely And that's why the next point is extremely important. If you can visit, I know I visited Georgia 2 times prior to my initial move. I did do a video food vlog here. I'll leave that link down in the description box if you want to check that out. But it's good to go to the city to get a feel of what they have to offer and see if that particular city will work for you. A lot of times you can go to cities and know whether, now that's just somewhere I can go visit, or you know what, I can do this, I can live here, you know, based on your career, what you're doing, or you know, if you have a new business, if that, or you're opening a business, if that's a city that's, you know, booming in businesses. You know, whether it's school, if you're going to be going to school, to relocate there to go to the schools, are there good schools there? Things like that you would definitely want to know prior to your move. Is that a good move for you? Is that going to work out for you and your family? Do they have good schools? If you have a toddler and things like that. Okay, and then you want to start, if you have your move date, you want to then start planning and preparing how you're going to do your initial move. If it's a company move, your dates, if you have vehicles coming, and all that. But you definitely want to make sure that you've done enough research in the area, you know, and if you can go to the city that you'll be relocating and check out housing. A lot of times you can look at houses or apartments online and it looks so beautiful, and they even have to where you can Google and check out the surrounding areas. And a lot of times when you get there, especially at night, it's good to check out places at night and see what really goes on in a night. If that's the area that you want to live in, if that's something that's going to be safe for you and your family, especially, you know, when you have younger child, or even if you're single and moving there by yourself, you definitely want to make sure that you're in a safe environment. Also, the shopping areas, do you love to shop? Are you a person who doesn't like to do a lot of driving? You don't want to drive far for yourself. You want to make sure that's all, you know, close in your area, and things that you will need on a regular basis is available to you. Make sure, you know, your child's school is going to be convenient. Where will you be working from? Will you be working from home? Will you be working in an office? How long is your commute? How is traffic in that particular city? Those are all things that you definitely want to research and do your research. I know what I did, particularly when I came, even on my visits, I would MapQuest my office address from wherever I was at. I would just MapQuest just to kind of get a feel to see how traffic was, because you always hear about the Atlanta traffic. Traffic is crazy, this and that, and I just kind of wanted to see how traffic was during those certain times. So little things like that. But you definitely want to research, visit the area, get you a realtor, speak with friends, check YouTube, do Google searches. If you're going to be living in a city outside of the major city, do research on that city. There's a lot of little you know, cities surrounding the actual city of Atlanta. I did research on all those, and when I knew what area I wanted to live in, I began to what that particular city had to offer, if it would be suitable. And then on visits, I feel like it's very important, if you can make the trip, to come to the city. If you can come visit where you'll be relocating, that's great to really get a feel of where you will be staying. And then housing, a lot of times things look different on, you know, things look very much different online than they do when you get there. So you can get to see, do you want a house with a garage? You know, do you want to live in an apartment that's gated? You know, it just really depends. So it's really good to go there and see, and then I would definitely check it out at night and see how it looks at night. So research. I researched for the whole 5 months. Even when I came and I looked at schools. I went and visited several I went and visited several child care toddler schools. There were so many different programs here. I checked the pricing, which would be better pricing, which would be better for my commute, which is closer to home, which schools would my son benefit from best. So you want to do research even before you move. And doing your research, you want to make sure, you want to check things like salaries. You know, would the salary be comparable to your living standards? I know with Georgia, they have state tax. And in Houston, we didn't pay state tax. You also want to do research. I even did research on the taxes on clothes. In Georgia, in Houston, it's 8.25. In Georgia, the taxes were a little bit lower. So all those different things that can come into play, you definitely want to check on the salary here. I checked on the salary, and what's the base point of salary to live comfortable. You know, you want to have a comfortable living. You want to live comfortable. So what would be the minimum salary that can be made in that particular city? Those are all the things that you definitely want to research and find out before you actually make the move. You know, research everything from the car registrations and you know, the driver's license thing. I research you have to think, because it's actually life changing. Not only are you physically relocating, but your whole life is relocating. Everything is different. Every city is going to be different. So you definitely want to make sure you do your particular research to make your move in life very smooth as possible. Because again, moving across state can be very stressful and time consuming and very tiresome. But to make things work and to make it as smooth as possible, you want to make sure you do your research and have everything in order. Print out things, get you a folder, file folder, and print out things, because trust me, you'll always go back to them. Now, the big plan, when are you relocating? If you have children, are you planning your move after school's out? Are you in a lease and your lease will be up in a couple months? All them things come into play when you're actually planning to move. When's the best time to move? Are you moving with your company and they're expecting you to have a certain move date? You know, do you have to get your child prepared, your children prepared? Or are you going to leave your children with family members while you go and get prepared? Or are you going to transition them with you? You know, will you be driving to that city of relocation, or will you be flying and having a moving company bring your items? All them things are definitely things that you want to look into and know for sure what's the best method based on the time for your particular transition. Where you'll be relocating, will your house or your apartment, will your housing be available for you? What's the move-in date on that? You know, then you have to plan and prepare to get, you know, your lights and everything transferred over just based on that particular house or, you know, apartment complex. You have to plan and get your house and get that. Is there security deposits on that? Is there a fee? Is there a security deposit you have to pay? Are you coming with pets? Is there a pet fee that you would have to be responsible for? Are you planning to, have you visited the school where your child will be attending? Have you spoke with the teachers? Have you looked around the classroom and looked at the students? I mean, all of these are things that you have to do your research on to plan and prepare for a successful move. Get you a planner, write everything down. I definitely suggest going to the city that you'll be relocating to and just taking notes, what works. And the little things that we don't think about, like bills, bank account, all them things need to be transitioned. Are you with the bank right now, you know, planning? Or are you with a bank right now that's not in that particular state? You know, I have a credit union. They don't have that particular credit union here. So, you know, all them little things that you may not think about are so important on your move in planning to, you know, close one bank account, open one bank account, or you're going to keep that bank account still and have this bank account as well. So little things like that you may not think about that are so important and can make everything a lot smoother for you. Share the information. Let your friends and family know. You know, once you transition your move, let people know that you've actually relocated. You'll be amazed at how many people will reach out to you. And that's what actually initiated this video. I had got a lot of inboxes of people asking me, you know, was I scared or her? And you know, I mean, there is always going to be some, you know, just a little fear, but in fear you have to just overpower that and just begin to plan and organize. And when you know the move can be successful, you just have to move through it. You know, little things may fall off, but if you know that you planned and you have everything laid out, just keep moving. Go to the next item. And as you do things, cross them off. Is your driver's license updated? How long does that state require you? I know in the state of Georgia, they require you to have your license plate and your car registered in 30 days. You know, all them things there, you have to make sure you research and you're planning dates to get those things done. Get you a journal and put dates by it. I'm going to do this by this date, this by this date. And it really makes you feel accomplished and things will start going. And then you just feel like you're more, you know, you're more at home and things are really working out and you're really adjusting to your new environment. I have to say some some things that I learned about Georgia overall. I really enjoy living here. Georgia is extremely peaceful. It's very peaceful where I live. It's very wide. There's a lot of greens, a lot of land here. The people are extremely nice. Most people that I've met here are not from Georgia. Everybody has been extremely polite. The school that my son attends is a very good school. They have a lot of security things set up, which I really can appreciate, unfortunately, with all the things that are currently going on with schools. They have a lot of shopping here. There's a lot of different things here that I really enjoy that Houston didn't have. I have just really become accustomed to the lifestyle, and adjusting and transitioning has been extremely easy for me. I love how they have a lot of different festivals and events here, so whatever you're into, it's all here. A lot of people come to Georgia. I love it because a lot of my friends that I miss from being in Houston, a lot of them come here to visit. A lot of them come here to do things, so I'm able to, hook up with them. I had a friend come from Florida a couple months ago. I've been living here almost 2.5 months, and overall I really like it. I really like Georgia. It's a very good place for family. I know the area that I live in, very clean. So far so good, and my son loves it, and we're enjoying it. My family is really happy here. So if you have any questions, or if there's anything that I missed, or you think, or you're living in Georgia, or you relocated from another city to another major city, leave your information below. Leave the comments below what you can share to help someone else that may be looking for videos, because I know I was on YouTube for hours just looking for things that people did to transition, because it could be kind of scary, the unknown, but when you kind of have a plan, you follow your plan and just keep going. As hurdles come, you deal with those hurdles, and you just stay focused on getting adjusted. Everything will work out. So like always, I thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was very informative, and as always, thanks so much for watching.
That means you ugly too, but for you, there's nothing that we wouldn't do. Your Venus flytrap done turned many fool from one taste of you. You're the earth's jewel, the reason cash rules will never find with peanuts and cashew.